What is up, bosses and bossettes? Today I wanted to do a showcase little video. Alright, so I wanted to show like the creations that I've been making in the recent days. So yeah, if you like to look at art and stuff like that and talk about art, like you'll probably enjoy this video. If not, you do yobo. Alright, so what's it called? I had a whole bunch of stuff coming in my head right before I started this video, like all these different ideas, all these thoughts, right? And now all I can think about is like art and showcasing the art. All right, so we'll get into that, um, and then we'll see if any of those stuff comes back to my brain later on in the video. Peace. Alright, so if you guys saw my last video, you would have seen me show these sticks, right? And this is what like started off and kicked off this little stick painting obsession of mine that I'm currently going through, right? Initially I was trying to make wands, and then I started painting because I was like, oh, a painted one, that'll be cute, that'll be cool, that'll be fresh, that'll be cute. So yeah, I ended up painting this one here. This was my first one, and then this is the second one that I painted, and then I started this bad boy. This bad boy right here is my pride and joy. Okay, so I ended up starting this off. Freaking, at first I was a little bit worried. I was like, where the heck is this going? But I just went with the flow. I just kept going, I kept flowing, and I ended up creating something that I really, really enjoy looking at. And it's a very textured artwork, so I'll get into that as well. In case anyone wants to know what I used for that, I'm sure people who are who are actually into like acrylics and shit like that will be able to get an idea of what I've used. So yeah, anyways, on that note, I've been using stuff like this in Pasto gel medium. I got some of this to make because I wanted thick paint that like retained its shape easily. And so yeah, definitely the vibes that I got with all these little ridges and stuff. It's a bit blurry, but you can see along the top better. Like if I do that, you can see all the ridges and stuff. Even here, like, bruh, it reminds me of waves, but it's yellow, so it's not really waves. Anyways, it is a form of a wave, though, I guess. And then we got like these dots and stuff. I just love the whole vibe of this thing, and it's not even done yet. I've spent so much time trying to make this, but it's nearly done, I reckon. I'm pretty happy with it already. I just feel like maybe it needs a little something like extra, but yeah, stay tuned for that one. I'll show you guys once I'm finished that one. I'll show you the finished product. You can see the evolution between these three, like 1, 2, 3. Like, damn, that's like real good evolution right there, babes. She's slaying. Like, it just evolved into something brand new, you know what I mean? It evolved into something completely different, and I don't hate it. I actually love it. So yeah, I was thinking if I get like a little carver thing, I could like carve this out, put a crystal there, and then like put some other crystals along here, or like even around the sides, like if there's gaps and stuff, be a good place to put a crystal, you know what I mean? So it kind of, the design wraps around the crystal, so it'd be cool if the crystal was like a good shape for it too. But yeah, like that'll be awesome. Then you can have that little wand. This looks like a bone already, like, but also looks like a mini staff. Like, imagine like a little kid. He's like, oh yes. He's got a staff there, like his magical staff. Like, damn. This is boss shit right here. So yeah, that's what I was meant to do. I was telling you about this, yes, to make this thicker and also mix it with this. It doesn't actually deteriorate the color, which is really good. I didn't realize that tools like that existed in painting, but I found out like, oh my gosh, there's something called a paint extender, and like this can have like extending properties because it allows you to like make your paint last longer or whatever the heck without actually making the color less vibrant. So that's really cool. And then this is the paint brand that I have, Liquitex or whatever. I just got it because it's like a reasonable price and really good, like, what's it called, reviews, like people saying that it's really good and their experiences with that is good. And even the lady at the store as well, she said that. I was like, yeah, well, that's because I did my research, girl. Because she said, I was like, what's it called, I'm wanting to just start out, like I haven't painted properly before. And then I was like, what's it called, I want this because I think it's a pretty good brand to start off like practicing, because I've heard it's good quality and it's also in a good price range. And she was like saying, yeah, Liquitex is really, really good for starting out, I reckon. But also, like, she might just say that just because like the other brands were quite like up there in terms of price. So, but yeah. Anywho, so I actually was thinking of showing you guys some of my beats that I've just recently made. But then I thought to myself, you know what? It's one thing to show a beat that you've made, and it's another thing to make a song, you know? So I'm gonna set this for myself, and I'm just gonna leave it until I actually release the song, and therefore it'll be like, you know, like that little reward for myself and for y'all, I guess. If you guys really want to hear it, then like, you know, when you wait for things and when you just allow things to unfold, then you feel like that much more accomplished once you actually initiate the end goal or the end result, like whatever it may be. I just realized that's very much mirroring as well, like um my whole not eating, only eating one meal a day thing, because it's like, oh, I think about that and then I'm like, that's exactly how I feel when I only have one meal a day. I feel like that one meal, like because of what I've done so much during the day, I've achieved so much, I've been able to like set and make my life a better space, like in every way that I can, right? Then once I get to eat, I'm like, oh yes, like this is well deserved. This I've accomplished this, you know what I mean? This is not just me like eating because I feel like it's something I need to do, you know what I mean? Or nothing like that. It's like I've accomplished this. I finally got to the end result and I get to be able to eat the fruits of my labor, you know what I mean? So that's like really feels something that feels very, really natural about that, which is why I felt like I should mention it in general. Something that feels very natural about that process of me only having one meal a day or eating very, very late in the day, and that being my first meal. There's just something that feels natural to me about that. Like, um, you know, everyone's different, of course. We all resonate with different kind of stuff, but just my experience with that, it just feels very natural. It feels like the way, you know, when you just do something and you just like you don't necessarily need to explain logically why it makes sense like that, but you know, when you do that thing on a non-logical or just on a like indirect way, it's just feels right, if that makes sense. But yeah, I will set that as a little goal for myself, and we will see in the next video what, or you know, not the next video, of course, but in the next video that I post of my songs, that we will see the video pop off like that. You know what I mean? We'll see it pop off. So yeah, stay tuned for those musics. Stay tuned for the freaking end of that yellow wand. I'm literally so fucking keen to see that, like, what that ends up turning out like. And then the next one too, you know what I mean? After that one, I'm just like, oh, I'm excited to see where we can take things. What can we do? I was even thinking of making something else, like similar, like the same with that, but the texturedness, but making it in a smaller way so that it's more enjoyable for. Because I was thinking, like, some people like really get like comfort out of that or like satisfaction out of that, like touching things that are like textured. Because I know that's why I even did that in the first place. You know what I mean? So it's definitely something interesting. Like I'm starting to see and understand for myself, even though I don't necessarily use it as a tool, but some people would use that as a tool for something um like just helping them mentally, spiritually, or physically in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? So that's really interesting thing that I started realizing as I was doing those more and more. Oh yeah, I was gonna mention about like this little hair gel that I've been using, but I just feel like no bitch, like people already know about that. You know what I mean? People already made that. It was already a phase where people are on the internet making flaxseed gel. You know what I mean? So it ain't nothing special. Ain't nothing special. But yeah, anyways, I will see you guys for the next video. Before I start rambling on until the end of freaking time, alright? Stay tuned for the next one. Peace.